November 25th is the International Day on Violence Against Women. It also marks the beginning of the global 16 days of activism against gender-based violence campaign. On this occasion, law enforcement agencies have been reminded of their important roles in the protection of human rights, especially when it affects women and girls. At a press conference held by the Network of Police Reform in Nigeria, NOPRIN, and Project Alert, stakeholders called for effective measures to ensure that perpetrators of sexual violence are brought to book. Details are in this next report.
Global rights group Amnesty International has repeatedly drawn attention to disturbing trends of rape and sexual violence against women and girls by police and security forces. NOPRIN and Project Alert have gathered civil society organizations and members of the press here to address this illicit act carried out by law enforcement officers. They are calling for an end to impunity in the Nigerian criminal justice system, which allows culprits to go unpunished.
What really bothers us as an organization is when these issues happen, you go to police station to report, and then those people that are supposed to protect, they are the ones doing it. They are the ones behind the counter. They put you behind the counter, and they are perpetrating more harm to you than offering succor. It's very, very worrisome.
NOPRIN is calling on the Inspector General of Police and the Chief of Defense Staff to take appropriate steps to curb the act of sexual violence being perpetrated by their men. As law enforcement officers, they are supposed to protect and not abuse women and girls. Law enforcement officers are not above the law. Thus, if they commit acts of sexual abuse, they should be dismissed from the force.
The main aim of the 16 days of activism is to develop strategies for the prevention and elimination of violence against women and girls. To this effect, Chairperson of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, Nigeria, is calling for a collective effort to increase awareness and provide support for victims.
There is need for each and every one of us to focus on how to gear efforts towards putting in place a comprehensive and multi-sectoral services that is accessible for all survivors of rape and sexual violence. And also explore how we can collectively change our response to be survivor-based, survivor-centered, timely, and efficient.
Other issues raised at the conference is the culture of silence that often prevents victims from speaking up, as well as the evidence-based system which hinders access to justice.
When a child wants to talk, and if media are carrying it, they will put the full picture of the child or the victim. Instead of looking for the perpetrator and putting the picture of the perpetrator, perpetrators of sexual violence will be named and shamed. I think that will go a long way, because when you know that if a child mentions your name or somebody mentions your name, you will be shamed. Your name will be published. Your name will be entered into that register. People will not want to put themselves into it.
There's underreporting of domestic violence done within homes and other facilities. It's even worse in custodial facility. Why? Because when they have guns, they have machinery for intimidation, and so they are the ones that all their colleagues are the ones that will prosecute. Sex is sometimes used as a negotiating power for victims to get, for suspects to get their freedom, and it's done in secrecy, so it makes it difficult for victims' attorney, our defense attorney, to get evidence of such abuse.
The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence is an international initiative which takes place annually and runs from 25th November to 10th December, which is Human Rights Day. Adekunle, TV360, Lagos.